What's good, everybody? I'm BPC, and welcome to Competitive Origins MMA. Well, Israel, the Last Stylebender Adesanya, was attempting to make UFC history by becoming the first middleweight and light heavyweight champion simultaneously, while Jan Błachowicz was actually trying to legitimize himself as the light heavyweight champion by making his first title defense. Now, in defense of Jan Błachowicz, he is the champion at the end of the day. He won his fight against Reyes in devastating fashion, so there's no questioning him trying to legitimize himself. Now, if you are a fan of Jan Błachowicz, be sure to check out my new series, Fight Week, in which I followed Jairzinho Biggie Boy Rosenstrike during his fight week over the course of UFC Vegas 20 against Cyril Gane. It's the second episode, which I'm going to release on Monday. I've already released the first episode, so be sure to check that out. But in the second episode, Jan Błachowicz will be making a special appearance on the show. So like I said, if you are a Jan fan, be sure to check it out. Hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as that episode goes live. And don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Now, as these two individuals squared off in the ring, the first round began and Izzy did a lot of feigning. I felt like it kept Jan on his toes in the first round. It seemed like these two were just basically feeling each other out. And it was a very close fight, but I felt in this round that Izzy put a little bit more pressure on him and landed the cleaner shots, therefore securing the victory in round number one. Now, in the second round, Izzy started to land, but Jan got a lot of shots off as well. I feel like he landed the cleaner of the shots in the round, and he actually was able to throw Izzy down to the ground. Now, Izzy, did not stay on the ground. He got back up very quickly, and the two continued on. But it just looked like, even though it was a close round as well, that Jan actually got the better of the two. And therefore, I scored it 1-1. Therefore, Jan took this round. Now, like I said, the first two rounds were extremely close. They could have gone either way, but Izzy, I do feel, scored the first, and Jan actually got the second. That's just my opinion, but you guys at home, let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, in round number three, Izzy looked like to be the better striker. He feinted a lot, he landed more strikes, but he fought more aggressively. And as the feints, caught, Jan off guard, he, like I said, he landed more. It showed, his evolution as a fighter, if you may say. He really stepped it up, and Jan didn't want any of it, it looked like at times, and that's when he began to try to clinch with Izzy. Now, on the clinch, Izzy even got the better of the clinches, landing multiple strikes, even hitting him twice at the same time. Izzy, I feel like, won this round. I feel like out of the first three rounds, this was probably the most decisive round in which Izzy did get it. So it's 2-1 Izzy going into the fourth round. Now, Jan started off the fourth round striking very well, but then Izzy came back. And then you noticed Izzy grabbing his hand after he leveled Jan with several strikes. And we had seen Izzy grab his hand multiple times over the course of the fight. So one may question, did Izzy actually injure himself during the fight, or was he coming into the fight injured? Now, Jan actually scored a takedown with 3 minutes left in the fight and basically controlled Adesanya for the remainder of the round. Now, with 3 minutes, that's about 60% of the round, so that's quite a considerable amount of time. Now, like I said, he did not give any, or he did not display, or he did not land any damaging shots on Izzy, but like I said, he did control, the remainder of the round, and therefore, because the beginning was more Jan, then it switched to Izzy, and then the last 60% was all Jan. I would say it's 2-2 going into the fifth round. Now, in the fifth round, they were going strike for strike. Jan actually looked tired, and a lot of people were thinking maybe he was tired because of all the work he had to put into to secure that takedown and to hold Izzy down to the ground. Now, Izzy was actually fighting very urgent. His strikes were landing. He was just going off on Jan. He was doing a much better job than the previous rounds, and that's when Jan actually took him down. Now, I guess there was still enough gas in the tank for Jan to get the takedown, and he held him down for the last half of the round. Now, there weren't any significant blows that were really landed against Izzy, and therefore, with the last 10 seconds, Jan understood that he had to land some significant shots to secure himself the victory, and that's exactly what he did. He stood up, and he started firing shots, with Izzy down on the ground, and then the fight came to an end. It did look good for Jan at the end. Now, when I first watched this fight, I actually had it 3-2 in favor of the Last Stlyebender versus Jan. But now I played the video back, I watched it again, I let it absorb. I didn't get I took the Izzy fan out of me, and I just tried to watch it as a judge. And as a judge, Jan got that last round. Therefore, I scored it 2-3 in favor of Jan Błachowicz, in which he would retain his title. Now, the judges, on the other hand, actually scored it 49-45 on one of the cards, which was quite surprising. I was unsure how they came about with this card or this scoring. And apparently they gave Izzy the third round, but they scored it a 10-8 round in favor of Jan in the fifth, which to me, a 10-8 round means you beat the crap out of somebody and you completely dominated them. Now, he got Izzy down in the second half of the round, but he didn't really land any shots until the last 10 seconds. And if you look at Izzy's face, he didn't have a scratch on him. Now, if you looked at him compared to his fight in which he faced off against Kelvin Gastelum, he was pretty battered and beaten. His lip was all swollen, his face was just disfigured. He took a pretty good beating from Kelvin Gastelum. Now, as regards to the scorecards, Jan also thought it was a close fight. Izzy thought he was going to win the fight. He stated where he thought he was going to win the fight, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Jan did remain the champion. Now, in the post-fight interview, Izzy talked about his legs were fatigued, and that played a factor in him getting taken down. He also mentioned that size was a big difference, and this was a big discussion heading into this fight about Izzy not willing to put on the extra weight to combat against Jan and the size advantage that he was going to have. Now, a lot of people thought, well, Izzy has speed and precision, and that's all he's going to need in the fight. But nobody, I felt like talked a lot about if Jan were to take him down to the ground, how is Izzy going to get back off the ground? Just, obviously we are aware that Izzy did secure his purple belt, but the purple belt was obviously ineffective in regards to the grappling that Jan displayed in this fight. Now, Izzy did mention that he felt like his technique could have been a lot better, and I expect him to work on his technique moving forward, because there's going to be a lot of fighters now that are going to try to take Izzy down to the ground and try to hold him down after seeing what Jan was able to do to him. Now, as far as Jan in the post-fight interview said that he expected Izzy to be a lot quicker and less powerful. And following the fight, Izzy actually changed his opinion of him, because he said Izzy wasn't as fast as he thought he was going to be. He's obviously still fast, but he felt that Izzy had a lot more pop on his punches as far as what he expected Izzy to come in with. So a lot more powerful punches. So I guess that's good on Izzy's behalf. Now, Jan did state that he was going to wait for Izzy to get tired, and as far as his game plan was concerned, and then go for the takedown. And that's actually what he executed in the fight. So his game plan did work. Now, go to the comment section below and let me know what you think of the fight. Did you happen to see it? How did you score the fight? Where do you see Izzy going from here? Obviously, he stated that he is going down to middleweight, but who do you see him facing off against? Now, as far as Jan, we already know Jan is going to fight against Glover Teixeira. He already stated that if Glover wants to wait, he will face him. He is next in line, so that should definitely be an exciting fight. But how do you see those two matching off? Glover does extremely well on the ground, and what we saw in the Santos fight, he also takes a really great punch, and we all know Jan can level the punches when need be. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Go to competitiveorigins.com, type in promo code MMA90 so you can get 10% off this Competitive Origins Whatever It Takes t-shirt. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. I'm BPC, and remember, you've been competing since conception. Whether you're competing against yourself or others, Competitive Origins.